Yo, yo. All right. So today, my people, we are going to be talking about what macros are. So yesterday I put up a little post on Facebook, and basically asking everybody, because the new year's coming, the new year, new me bullshit, right? That you might guys never even fucking make it through the first or second week for, right? So I'm like, you know what? This whole month of December, my goal is to do it live every single day, teaching you some of the basic fundamentals of fitness. So you actually fucking win this year. Okay? So you're welcome, motherfuckers. Nobody loves you as much as I do. Okay? So with that said, so yesterday I threw a post on Facebook, and I said, hey, I'm gonna do it live tomorrow. Like, what would you guys like to know about? Like to know more about, right? And some of the most common comments that I got and messages that I got were macros. Okay, which is understandable because to be honest, back in the day, let me tell you a little story. Actually, let me tell you a story. So when I first got in the fitness industry 20 years ago, okay, 20 motherfucking years ago. I know, I don't even look that old. Like, how is that possible? Yeah, it's because I take fucking high quality care of myself. That's why I look like I'm fucking 20 still, right? So, anyways, so back when I was in my actual 20s, because I'm in my 40s now, right? So when I was in my 20s and I first became a trainer, okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little secret about the personal training certifications. Okay. They fucking suck. Okay. They fucking suck when it comes to nutrition. Okay. I know because I've had 9 of them, the best ones. Okay. And they all 100% suck. Okay. So when I first became a trainer, I was following the, way that they teach in these fucking certifications, and they fucking suck. Right. I was following what they say. Right. Which was all basically like fucking 60% carbs and fucking 20% protein and 20% fat, like fucking horrible. Okay. Macros. Okay. So that was the percentages. Right. So I was following that shit. Right. And, I'm working out, fucking doing double days. I'm training like a beast. Right. And I'm just not getting lean like I want to get lean. Right. Like I wasn't getting lean the way that, and I had abs, and I was lean, but I wasn't ripped. You know what I mean? Okay. There's a difference between being lean and being aight looking and being like, damn, you look good, son. Right. So I wasn't looking good, son. Right. So I was a trainer for years. And then so after getting all these certifications, I'm like, man, how come I don't look like any of these guys that like compete in shows and they're on the cover of these books? I'm like, they're doing something different, right? So I started reading a bunch of books, reading all kinds of information, reading all kinds of stuff, trying to figure out what everybody was doing. I fucking hired coaches, right? And I started doing all this stuff, and I figured out fucking macros. See, that is what we weren't taught in the courses, right? On top of the fact that, or the certifications, but on top of that, they fucking teach you to fucking eat chips and bread and all kinds of shit in these fucking certifications. It's horrible. Okay. So if you have a coach, you have a personal trainer, right? Especially if they work at one of these big box gyms, their education is shit when it comes to nutrition. Okay. So when it comes to the form and technique and all that stuff, it's good. Okay. But for the nutrition, horrible. Right. So started reading all this information. I started making these changes. Right. I started getting leaner. Right. I really dialed in my macros, right? Hired a coach, actually. Really dialed in my macros. And I didn't even really like his macros because they weren't even that good, but I was super strict on them, right? Started to revise them, started to kind of make them the way that I wanted them to be based on health and nutrition and science and all the other shit that I had been researching and reading and shit, right? And because I stay on top of like all the, like I follow some of the greatest doctors and scientists in the world that are on top of the game when it comes to health, right? And so I started to revise them, change them up, and boom, I got shredded. Shred as fuck. Okay? Fucking shreddy. Shreddy. Okay? Like stupid shreddy. Like way shreddy than I am right now. Like shreddy, right? So, and then I was like, oh shit. All this time it was the fucking macros. My macros weren't dialed in. That's why I wasn't getting lean, right? So then I started teaching my clients this shit. Everybody else start getting fucking ripped, right? And then I start getting DMs all the time. People are hitting me up in the VN Messenger, right? And they're reaching out to me. And they're like, dude, your clients look amazing. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Right. And then I was getting so many messages and basically like a lot of the same questions. And they were from people from all over the world. Right. And because I've been making videos and shit and doing lives and shit for forever, man. This is forever. I just haven't been doing them much lately because I've been in jail a lot the past few years for talking a lot of shit. This is like my 110th time being locked up. I have had 6 accounts closed. This account you're watching me on right now, this Facebook account you're watching me on right now is my 5th one. Okay. I used to have a much bigger following on my original one, right? But I used to make lives like 2-3 times a day, right? All the time. But I haven't been doing it lately. I literally just got out of jail. Like just got out of jail. Okay. I was in jail to where I was only in like probationary jail, like where when you say something, I call somebody fat. When you say something that's hate speech, right? Or offensive to the community standards, right? They kind of threw me in like probation kind of jail, right? Where they just wouldn't let me make lives. So I haven't been able to make any lives for you guys because I was in jail, right? So anyways, been teaching this shit for a long fucking time. But anyways, so back to my story. So everybody started hitting me up, right? And I was like, man, there's all these people from all over the fucking world because my social media following used to be much bigger, right? Because all my accounts I'm rebuilding from zero again. And then what happened was I'm like, fuck, man, I need to write a fucking book because there's so much bullshit out here. Like there's so much fucking bullshit, outdated, debunked, shitty ass information that a lot of these coaches are teaching, even still to this day. Okay. Especially if you're working with a physique coach, right? They are absolutely horrible. Okay. Old school, shitty ass nutrition. Okay. So anyways, so when it comes back to this story, right? So what ended up happening was that led me to this, right? Where I wrote this. Okay. Right now, don't go get that book. Okay. Because I'm actually about to rewrite it. I'm about to do an update, a 2024 update, because some things have changed, right? I'm going to teach you, well, not really the stuff that's changing there, but I'm going to be teaching some different stuff in the book. It's just slightly different when it comes to the nutritional stuff. I'm going to give a little update. Right. So anyways, that's what led to that, right? Which led to others, right? So anyways, when it comes to you guys understanding macros, this is vital. Okay. Now, anytime I have somebody who, is complaining about like, oh, I just can't get any results. I just can't lose any weight. One of my first questions is, what are your macros? And usually the answer is, what are macros? Right? I'm like, boom, you already failed. You already failed. Okay. So if you're working out right now and you don't know your macros, you failed already. Okay. You failed. This is the basic fundamentals of nutrition. And if you don't know this, you're wasting your fucking time in the gym because you're not going to go anywhere. Okay. So I'm going to break this down to you. I'm going to teach you what macros are. I'm going to teach you what yours are. Okay. And then I'm also going to teach you carb cycling. Okay. Basic stuff. These are basic fundamentals. Some basic things that I teach my gym clients and my online coaching clients. Okay. Now let's cover what macros are. Okay. This is, if you didn't see my video yesterday, okay, I showed a little video where I actually, if you didn't see this, I got fat on purpose. Okay. Took a month, got fat on purpose, and then got ripped again. 6 weeks. And I did a video yesterday talking about how I actually did that. So that's what that is right there. But I just did this by hitting my motherfucking macros. Okay. So here's what macros are. All right. Because a lot of you guys are really, really confused. Okay. So all macros are, this is super, super basic stuff. Right. But I understand you guys aren't in the fitness industry. Right. Macros stand for macronutrients. Okay. Macronutrients basically means big nutrients. Right. Anyways, carbs, protein, fats. These are your macronutrients. Now, when it comes to you wanting to lose body fats, you can actually get toned or you can get ripped, right? You have to hit your macros, right? Because the reason why you have to be tracking your macros is because when you hit your macros, the certain ratio of them, you're going to achieve your calorie goal. Because when it comes to fat loss or gaining fat, it's always a calories game. Okay. Anyone telling you otherwise is a fucking idiot. Period. Okay. It's always a calories game. I proved it because my routine stayed almost identical in these two photos. Okay. Here's the difference. I ate a lot more calories than I was burning. I was still working out every single day, lifting every single day, right? But I was eating a lot more than my body was burning. So that led to me getting fat. And all I ate, and I was eating clean, okay? The whole point of this was I was trying to actually prove you can get fat eating clean. So all I was eating was fucking steak and fruit and cottage cheese. That's it. That's all I fucking ate, okay? And I got fat like this in a month, okay? Now, proving that calories are king. Okay. I ate way more than I was burning. All the excess gets stored. Look at this. Oh, look how wide my waistline got. Ugh. It was like hanging on my pants and shit. It's fucking grossing me out. It was so hard to do this because I have such high standards for myself. Like, it was so hard for me to do this. Like, I was like almost quit like about 2 weeks in because I was like, oh, I'm so disgusted with myself right now. I'm like, I want to fucking quit. Maybe I don't want to do this because it was so gross. I had like these little fat ham hocks in the back. I was starting to get a double chin. I got some titties. Look at this. And I'm working out every single day, eating clean, still got fat. Okay. Why? Calorie intake was too high, right? So then all I did here is the exact opposite. I cut my calories, right? And then increased my calorie burn, right? 6 weeks later, voila, it's always a calories game. Okay, now back to this. Okay, so macros. So when it comes to you hitting your macros, you eat a specific amount to hit your calorie amount. Now, for you dudes, you typically need about 2,000, 2,200 to cut fat. Ladies, you need about 15. Okay, 1,500. Okay, that's the max on your deficit days. I'm gonna show you how to do this on the next page, right? But for right now, when it comes to you cutting calories, in order for you to be able to cut body fat, you have to slash it from one of these macros, okay? Now, most of you are doing it by slashing your protein or your fats, and you're eating nothing but carbs, but low calorie. And you will lose weight, okay? You will lose weight, but most of the weight you're losing is fucking muscle, okay? Muscle. And then you start to feel fucking tired and worn down and just feeling like shit. And the reason is because you're cutting the wrong macronutrient. So when it comes to you cutting calories, right, and cutting a macronutrient so you can reduce those calories, you want to slash it from the inessential ones. So carbs, which are your fruit, your potatoes, your rice, your quinoa, your beans, okay, these are carb sources. Okay, you fucking vegans listening up here. Okay, these are not protein sources. They are carbs. Okay, so we slash the carbs. Boom, right? And then we focus on the essential macronutrients. Every single cell, your muscle, okay, muscles made up of protein. Okay, your hair, skin, nails, all your fucking tissues, protein. Okay, everything in your body is made out of protein and fats. That's why these are essential. That means you have to have these two macronutrients or you fucking die. You have to eat them or you fucking die. That's how essential they are. Just like that chick, there was a vegan chick that was 39 years old that just died a few months ago from fucking starvation because all she was eating was fruit, which is a carb. And she wasn't getting her protein and she wasn't getting her fats, which are essential. So she fucking died of starvation. Okay? So don't listen to any of these motherfuckers that are telling you fats are bad. Okay, that was a lie sponsored by the sugar industry back in the 1960s. That's a fact. You can Google that. Okay, so anyways, protein and fats are vital. Now, fats, especially for you men, you need protein and fats because your testosterone levels rely on this. And the problem is with all these guys that are having like 300 nanograms per deciliter or less testosterone levels, which is low as fuck, right? Low as fuck. It should be like 800 to 1,000. Right? Naturally, not on TRT, naturally, if you're taking care of your fucking self, right? But what happens is that you guys eat nothing but carbs and that kills your test, right? And you're not eating enough protein and fats each day in order for you to be able to build testosterone or build muscle, okay? So when it comes to macros, You got to be hitting a specific ratio. Now, let me break this down for you. I didn't have time to pull this up before we started, but let me look this up real quick because I forget what they were off the top of my head. That's what we have these. Shit, they changed the app around. Let's see. Fuck, what'd they do with it? Son of a bitch. There it is. Got it. Okay. Now, for example, okay, so let me show you what macros are. Okay, let me show you. Okay, actually, let me show you on this page. Okay, so here's what we got. Okay, so when it comes to you trying to hit your goals, okay, now here's how this works. We're going to set you up, say 15% and 35 and 45. Okay, 40. No, 40, 50. We'll do it 50. Okay. All right. So this is how we're going to do this. So we're going to do an example man. Okay. And I'm going to show you how this works. All right. So if a dude is trying to cut body fat so he can get lean, right? He's going to eat 2,200 calories a day. Now he's going to achieve this by eating 83 grams of carbs. Okay. And 193 grams of protein. Okay. And 122 grams of fat. Now, when you track in your macros, we use MyFitnessPal. That's what this is. When you use MyFitnessPal to track your macros, you're not going to be on the money, right? You just within, 5 or so, you're good. Okay. The main thing that is the most important is that you're getting this and you're getting certain minimums of your protein and your fats, right? Like for men, as long as you're getting a minimum of around 200, which is close, right? And you're getting a minimum of around 100 grams of fat, you'll be solid when it comes to cutting body fat. Okay. And actually being able to maintain your strength and being able to perform like a beast, right? And still build muscle during the dieting process, right? Now, that's basically how it is, right? So if you ate 83 grams of carbs from, say, like a pound of vegetables and maybe like an apple, right? Maybe like, an apple, maybe an orange. You might even be able to fit an orange in there, right? That'd be 83 grams for the day. Done, right? Your protein that's going to come from, ground beef, turkey, chicken, eggs, all those things, like any of the animal proteins, okay? Not fucking protein powders, okay? Animal sources only, okay? Not fucking yogurts either, okay? Animal sources only, all right? Now, what happens is you hit your 193 grams of protein with your animal sources, you're also going to naturally get your fats from a lot of the stuff, right? So the majority of your fats are going to come from that. So you may not even have to add any fats to your diet. Like I pretty much most days, because I eat like a pound of ground beef almost every day, or like a bunch of eggs and sardines. So I get a lot of fats just from my animal sources. So I don't have to add anything to it, right? Plus I cook with like butter, right? So my fats are naturally, they get up to where they should be, right? So this is the most important one, right? And remember, you can 100% live without those, 100%. Okay, you want to lose fat faster? Cut those and then just make up the difference by eating a little bit more of these and these. Okay, so for example, that would actually look like, I'll show you. That would look like if we cut that. Could even do 45, 55. Okay, so there'd be 247. So it'd be 247, right? And 134. Okay, if you just cut those out and went straight carnivore, right? Like that's how I do it. That's how I live during the week. I just eat basically animal proteins. So, but anyways, that's macros. That's basically how it's done, right? You have a specific calorie goal, right? The calories are to achieve your goal, but your calories are made up of those macronutrients. Okay, now I want to show you how this is actually played out in life, right? So we're going to show you how this is actually played out in life, because if you hit your macros accurately every day, right? If you're actually tracking accurately, and I say accurately because most of you motherfuckers do it wrong when you're tracking it inside the app because you're tracking the wrong brands, okay? So, but if you do it right, bang, bang, go and get some abs, baby. Now, let's talk about how this is actually done. Let me clean this up a little bit. Okay, so this is basically how it's done. When it comes to you wanting to cut body fat, okay, this is how we carb cycle, okay? Now, I utilize what's known as carnivore carb cycling, okay? Which carnivore is just basically animal proteins. You don't eat any carbs at all, right? No vegetables, no nothing, just straight, just raw animal-like you're fucking lion, right? So, so that's the way I like to do it because it's faster, right? So, so what you basically want to do, this is how carb cycling works. Okay, listen up to me, people. It's really easy. Do you know how, like, and even in the beginning of my career, we were taught to do cheat meals. Okay, do you know why we do cheat meals? Okay, well, we used to. Okay, we don't do cheat meals anymore because that shit's stupid. Okay, but there's a purpose behind it. Okay, the purpose behind it is to keep your body from adapting to the lower calories, right? Because you slash your calories in order to burn body fat, right? Because if you don't create a calorie deficit, you ain't gonna lose shit. I don't care how clean you're eating. Okay. I already showed you I got fat eating clean. Okay. So if you don't cut your calories, you ain't gonna lose shit, right? So you're gonna have days where your calories are gonna be lower, okay, because you're in a deficit, right? So we can call that the def, right? So for a dude, okay, let's just say he's at 2,200, right? Or a chick, she's at 15, right? That's the max. That's the max you eat on your fat burning days, your deficit days. Okay. So the whole purpose of the cheat meal and why it was put in there was actually to give you extra calories, right? So it's a high calorie day, right? To kind of give you a break from eating lower calories, right? So dudes, you can be eating like 3K on this day, girls like 2K, right? Calories wise. And then the next day you go right back into but anyways, the whole point of the cheat meal thing was to basically refuel your body, right? Spike certain fat burning hormones, right? Because if you ate nothing, if you stayed in a deficit for too long, when I say too long, I'm talking months. Okay. It's not going to happen if you're just doing it for fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month, right? I'm talking months straight. If you ate nothing but 2,200 for months straight, what would happen is at some point your thyroid is going to downregulate your burn, right? You're going to start to be a little bit more tired, a little bit more lazy. You're going to be burning less calories. You're going to be putting out less whenever you work out, right? And what'll happen is your body's going to try and adapt to this, right? So what you're trying to do is you're giving it a day where you actually have a high calorie day to trick your body and keep it from adapting, right? But also to kind of give you a little bit of a, break where you can actually eat a little bit more of the foods that you like, but the way that I'm teaching you, not the old school way where you do cheat meals. Okay. So let's go back to this. Okay. So let's say we're here, right? So this is how it works. This is how carb cycling works. You have a specific amount of days, right? This is planned out. This isn't like on the fly, like, oh, I'm just going to do my refeed today, right? Because we don't do cheat meals. Okay. We do what's known as a refeed. Okay. Same concept. We just do it with clean food, right? Because you go eat fucking cheat foods, you're going to get fucking injured. You're going to cause all kinds of problems. You're going to be spiking crazy cravings, and your fat ass is going to stay a fat ass for the rest of your fucking life. Because that one meal is going to lead into a year. Okay. So you look at the people who do the cheat meals the most, they always fucking fat. Okay. So anyways, so we do planned refeeds. Okay. So this is how this works. So you do your deficit days. So you're going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yay, I did it. I hit my macros every day. Right. And then actually you're doing Sunday too. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right. So 6 days. Well, now this is only if you're leaner and lighter. Okay. If you are fat right now, which you probably are, because 99% of the population is, okay, you need to do this for a minimum of 2 weeks. Okay. So you deficit and stay low calorie for 2 weeks. Then on day 14, right? Then you get to do a refeed day. Okay. If you're lighter, you could do it every 7th day. Okay. And what you do is you basically calorie deficit here. You're working out every single day of the week. Okay. No days off. That's non-negotiable. You work out every motherfucking day. Right. And then on your refeed day, you got to make sure you burn a lot of calories. Because if you don't burn a lot of calories on your refeed day, matter of fact, if you don't work out, you can't do a refeed day. Okay. So let's say day 14 was supposed to be your planned refeed day and you didn't fucking work out because your fat ass slept in all fucking day, right? And you missed your little workout window and you had a busy schedule with the kids and whatever, and you couldn't actually work out, right? You don't get to do a refeed day. Okay. You need to push it to next week. Okay. Or tomorrow, maybe, if you can get the workout in, right? If you don't work out, you cannot do your refeed day. Okay. Because if you do, you're going to get fat on your refeed day. Refeed day is not to make you fat. Okay. It's to refeed. Okay. Which is basically just eating more carbs that day. Good carbs, motherfuckers. Okay. So, anyways, back to this. So we go low for 14 days, right? And then what we do is on this refeed day, we actually have a higher calorie. Okay. So it's a higher calorie, higher carb day. Okay. So you would just add, some apples, you could add some watermelon. Okay. Those are seeds. Okay. Inside my watermelon right there. Okay. You can add some fucking cherries, right? Look like little dick balls, little balls, ding dong. You can have some grapes, things like that, right? But when it comes to these, you have to make sure you measure them because there's always limits. That's something you got to remember too. When it comes to your life, every motherfucking day has limits. Okay? You can't be eating mindlessly. Can't be eating fucking till you're fucking your hardest. Every day has fucking limits. Okay? Your deficit days, you have limits. So if you happen to eat some high calorie shit in the morning and you hit your calories at noon, guess what? Suck it up. Take your motherfucking ass to sleep. You're starving until tomorrow. Okay? You hit your fucking calories, you're done. Done. Okay? Now, on your refeed day, for your limit, most of the dudes would be at 3K, most girls would be around 2K, right? So you have to measure these and track these in your app so that way you don't go over your limits, right? So you would basically just eat the majority of like the same foods, maybe cut some of your fatty protein sources down a little bit, eat leaner sources that day to make a little room for the calories from the carbs, right? And then you stop at your limit, which is 2K women for most of you, 3K for you guys, okay? The average person. Okay. And that's basically how that works, right? So you have the high carb day, high calorie day, right? And then you hit your calorie goal, right? Limiting your shit. And then what you do is the very next day, you go right back into your deficit. Okay. And then you go right back into the deficit. And you're either doing 2,200 calories or 1,500 calories, right? And then what happens is you just repeat this cycle. Next refeed day, you do it again. Right. And you just keep doing this over and over and over and over and over until you fucking hit your goal. Right. It'll take months for most of you guys. Right. Now, if you do that every single week, right, bang. Right. Now, what I didn't talk about here is that the carnivore side of this is that you're basically doing the same thing. Right. The difference is that you're just not eating any carbs at all. Zero throughout the week. Like zero. No vegetables. No fruit, no nothing. All you're doing is eating animal proteins, right? All week long. And then you refeed and then you actually add your fruit and stuff, potatoes, whatever you want to have, right? As long as it's coming from nature, right? And that is how you carb cycle, right? And you just do this over and over and over and over and over and over, right? Until you get to where you want to be, which, got a sexy stomach, right? Okay. And that's basically how that works. Make sense? Now, I hope that dumbed this down and drew it for you like a 2-year-old. So that way you could actually see how it's actually done. It's actually really simple. Okay. It's really simple to do. Okay. There's ways of hacking this shit that I teach my clients and stuff to where if you follow my nutrition hacks, you ain't even got to fucking measure shit. Like I don't measure shit. Right. I don't measure shit because I eat certain foods that have already been measured for me and I just track them. I just combine them, play Tetris with my nutrition. Right. So, but if you're not going to follow the hacks, you have to measure everything because you have to be accurate in order for you to be able to lose body fat. Okay. So, and let me give you some little tips on how most of you guys fuck this shit up. Because one of the top reasons why most of you so-called people who think you eat clean, you don't. If I looked at your nutrition, I'd be like, you eat like shit. That you think you eat clean, one of the top reasons that you guys aren't getting results, besides the fact you aren't creating the calorie deficit, is because most of you are tracking or logging or eating the wrong, so you're tracking the wrong protein. Okay. What does that mean? What that means is you go inside your MyFitnessPal and you just type in, I ate steak. I ate a pound of steak. Okay. Not all steak is the same. Okay. Depending on where you shop and where those stores get, buy their meats from, all the farms feed their animals differently. Okay. So What this means is, and this is one of the biggest mistakes people make, especially newbies. Okay. You're eating a steak. Okay. This is 16 ounces, right? You're tracking the low calorie one inside your app. But what's happening is the one that you're tracking isn't the actual one you're eating. You're eating the one from fatty farms, right? But you're tracking the one from the lean farms, right? Right? 500 calorie one, but you're actually eating the 1500 calorie one, right? So you are unknowingly eating a 1500 calorie steak 1, 2, 3 times a day, right? On top of the other shit that you're fucking eating, right? And then you're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm only eating 1200 calories a day and I can't lose any weight. No, bitch. You're eating 4500 calories a day, okay? Because you're tracking your shit wrong, right? So tracking the wrong protein is the first thing. Okay, that's one of the big mistakes. Second thing that most newbies do wrong is that when they do weigh their portions, they're weighing it cooked. Okay, that is wrong. Okay, the nutritional value is accounting for the meat in the raw form. So if you're going to be weighing out a pound of steak or a pound of chicken or 8 ounces of this, 6 ounces of that, you have to do it raw. Okay. Because if you don't, let me tell you another little story. So a few years ago, okay, I was eating these chicken thighs, right? So these chicken thighs, right? And I was getting ready for a show. Okay. And when you get ready for a show, you got to get like really, really fucking shredded. Okay. Like stupid shredded. Okay. Where I got like no fucking, my face is bones, like I'm shredded. Right. So, this one week I was eating some chicken. Okay. And this was before I learned that the food was accounted for in the raw form. Because remember, I was telling you the certifications when it comes to the personal training certifications, the nutritional information fucking sucks. Okay. This is a prime example because this is what they taught us and it was wrong. Okay. They teach you to weigh your protein sources cooked. Right. Now, when I was getting ready for this show, this one week, I started eating chicken thighs, right? I had been eating other things, right? And when you're getting ready for a show, whenever you're on point, you're literally going to make changes every single day, right? And the first thing I do every single day anyway is I wake up and look at my abs, okay? It's the first thing I do every night when I'm getting in the shower, okay? I look in the mirror, I'm checking on my abs, okay? Every motherfucking day. I've been doing this shit for years, okay? Which is why this was hard when I got fat because I couldn't see them anymore and it made me sad. So you see what I did for you? I took one for the team. I took one for the team to teach you this lesson. Okay. That's how much I love you. Okay. Anyways, so this one week I started eating some chicken, right? And back then I was weighing it cooked. Okay. Cooked. Right. And so I had this chicken and I weighed out like 24 ounces. Right. And when I was cooking it, I was like, man, that came out super small. Like before, like when I put it on the grill, when I took it out, I'm like, it was super small after I took it out. But as I was weighing out 24 ounces of chicken and including it in my day for this entire week. Right. And that week I didn't budge at all. Like I should be seeing progress every day because I'm like burning over 1,000 calories a day. I'm doing double workouts. Like I'm fucking just killing the game. Right. Macros are on point. So I thought. Right. And this one week I didn't budge, right? And when it comes to being doing a show, right? There's a deadline, right? Like you have to be on point every fucking day, or you're not going to show up on stage the way you want to look, and then you're going to embarrass yourself, and these photos last forever, right? So I was like, fuck, what is going on? I'm like, what's different? How come my body is not budging this week? And I knew it had to do something with something I must have been eating that was off somehow, right? So I'm like, damn, what am I doing different this week than I was doing the week before? Because last week, I made some serious progress last week. I fucking killed the game. But this week, I didn't budge. So something's wrong. I got to be getting extra calories from something. And then I'm thinking like, I have been doing that 24 ounces of chicken every day. And I've been weighing it cooked. And then I was like, it did look really fucking small after I cooked it. Damn, are we supposed to be measuring it cooked or raw? And then so I started doing a whole bunch of research, right? I'd spent like hours just doing research, and there wasn't really very much information out there about it. And then I finally discovered where to find some information on it. And it basically was saying that all the protein sources or the nutritional value refers to the raw form. Even if you read your packages, right? And I went and looked at all my packages, all my stuff is like, yeah, oh, fuck, it says it, the raw form. That's the calories for the raw form. And I'm like, fuck, I wonder how much of a difference that was making. So I went to the store, bought the same chicken, right? Bought 5 pounds of it, okay? Weighed it out, 5 pounds of it, threw it on the grill, right? And I'm like, let me weigh this afterwards and see like how much different it was. So then cook it up, get it out. Everything's all fucking tiny. Little chicken thighs are like this, right? They're all small. And I put it on the scale, 2.5 pounds. Okay. So I was eating what I thought was 24 ounces of chicken. In reality, I was eating 48 ounces of chicken worth in calories. And then I was like, oh my fucking God. I was overeating like fucking 1,500 calories just from this. I'm like, holy shit. I wonder how much of a difference my ground beef makes, right? So I throw that on there and then weigh that. And I'm like, fuck, that lost 30%. Fuck, I'm way off. God damn it. And then so what I figured out was I was actually eating like 4,000 plus calories a day, thinking I was doing 2,200 because I was actually weighing my shit cooked instead of raw. Okay. So that's my little chicken thigh story, right? So, and that is why I'm telling you this and telling you these little secrets, okay? Because these are common newbie mistakes, right? You're tracking the wrong proteins in your app, right? And then you're also weighing your shit cooked, okay? It is to be weighed in the raw form, and this has to be the farm that it comes from. So you're gonna have to do some homework. Now, I typically shop at the same stores and buy the same brands, and so I know where my stuff is coming from. And I always look at the back of it because sometimes they change, right? So I always want to make sure the nutritional value is the same. So, excuse me. So, so those are just the common mistakes that most people make. Now, the other mistakes that most people make is that when they're doing this, okay, when they're here, when they're doing their deficit days, let me clean this up a little bit. When they're doing their deficit days here, what they end up doing is that they're good. Most people are good all week long, right? And they're in their deficit all week long. And then what happens is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they end up going out to eat and drink, eating out and drinking, right? And they end up fucking consuming tens of thousands of extra calories. And then what happens is your ass is fucking fat on this next week. And then you spend all week trying to do damage control, trying to bring it back down to where you were before, only to repeat the same fucking cycle the next weekend. Okay. And this is why you motherfuckers are fat. Okay. Because most of you guys, besides the fact that you're making these newbie mistakes right here, right? You're also fucking it up because you're fucking it up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? And that is way outweighing the good that you're going to do during the week. Okay. You spend an entire hour killing a workout. You girls only going to burn 300 calories, 500 calories, 600 calories in an hour, killing it, right? You dudes only going to burn like 350, 400, 500, 700,000 maybe, right? Then the weekends, you're over consuming thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of calories, right? Which was way more than you burned the entire week, right? And that's why you show up fat every fucking Monday. Remember, I was telling you in the beginning that every day has limits. Every day has limits whenever you are eating and drinking. So here's how you can do this. Here's how you can drink. Okay. Here's how you do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. This is literally how I do it. Okay. So this is how you do it. So this is how you include alcohol into your life. Okay. Plan your days that you drink alcohol as your refeed day. Okay. This is how it works. You do your deficit days for 7 days, 14 days, right? Or basically 6 and 13, because this is on day 7 and 14, right? And then your high calories, instead of them coming from carbs, okay, you're actually going to include alcohol, right? So the way that you would actually do this is you actually just basically eat meat. So that's a steak, right? And then you just have some drinks, okay? Because these right here, okay, are high calorie, okay? So these calories basically replaced your carbs, okay? You can't do both. So you either eat carbs or you drink alcohol. Which one do you think you're going to choose? Most likely you're going to choose the alcohol, right? So That's basically how you have to do it. So you basically just eat meat and drink alcohol. No fucking carbs for you. Okay. Because you have to make room for the alcohol. Otherwise, you're going to go way over your limit and then you're going to get fat. Okay. So that is what you have to understand. Okay. So if you're going to be drinking, like my wife and I usually do every single weekend, right? So I basically typically I'm carnivore all week long till that day. And then I basically just eat meat and drink alcohol. Right. And that's basically how I do my refeeds weekly. Right. So that's how you get away with it. Okay. You can't have both. It's choose and plan ahead. Okay. One of the big secrets of people who are fit is we always plan ahead. We are 5 steps ahead of what's going on in life. Right. We know we got a birthday party coming up. We know we're going out of town. We know something's going on. We are already planning where we're going to work out, what we're going to eat, what we're going to order, how we're going to fucking limit our food, how we're going to be drinking, already planning all of it. Okay. Already thinking 5 steps ahead, right? Fatties, they don't think 5 steps ahead. They think in the moment and they don't even fucking think. They just act off impulse and emotion. That's why they're fat. Okay. So anyways, so that pretty much concludes that, right? So that's the basics. So let's recap. Okay. So here's what we talked about today. Okay. So we talked about your macros, right? Showed you what the macros are. Oh, I didn't give you what yours are. Actually, I did. I gave you the guys, right? Ladies, here's a simple one for you. For most ladies, when it comes to you need to lose fat, you need to be eating, for most of you girls that are like 5'3"-ish, right? 1,500 calories is your limit on your deficit days. If you did 75 grams of carbs, right? I know this one off the top of my head. Okay. 75 grams of carbs, about 130 grams of protein, right? 75 grams of fat. That basically equals 1,500. Okay. Now, if you want to go fast, slash out all the carbs and just increase your proteins and fats a little bit and then hit your 1,500 that way. And you can go carnivore like I showed you here, right? In this example, right? We're going carnivore and then refeed, right? So anyways, so you guys get your macros, right? We taught you carb cycling. Okay. And I gave you a whole bunch of extra tidbits in there as well too. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for today. If you guys have any more ideas of things that you would like to learn more about, shoot me a DM, let me know. So I'm always open for content ideas. So I don't know what it is that you guys maybe having issues with or struggles with till you tell me, right? So like this, right? I got the majority of the people that messaged me and commented were basically saying they wanted to know what macros are. That's how this video happened, right? So just tell me what you guys need to know more about and I'll help you out. All right. So that's all I got for you guys today. I got to go train my clients now. So we're going to close this one out. Have a great day.